What's up, everybody? My name's Chance. Today we're diving into another super special brew by yours truly. In this one, we have an all new challenge, Only Enchantments. That's right, we did only lands, and it was a nice little experiment. But this time we're doing only enchantments, and I can tell you right now, it performs much better than only lands, and actually better than some regular decks that I've brewed in the past too. So it's actually a really good, fun thing to play here. Not only are we accepting this challenge of only playing enchantments, we are full-blown embracing it. We have Doom Foretold, we got Felidar Retreat, we have some very powerful cards in this deck. So kicking us out down here in the bottom end, we have 4 copies of Alseid, 4 copies of Hateful Eidolon, 2 very staple enchantment creatures, and again we're using enchantments, so this is completely viable. Anyways, Alseid of course going to protect your creatures, and your Hateful Eidolon going to allow you to draw cards off of your removal with the Deadweight and the Mire's Grasp. One of the biggest drawbacks is not having Lotus in the deck, but if you want to break the rules and throw in a Lotus, whatever, you do you. Anyways, 2 copies of All That Glitters to build up our creatures insanely. Since we have only enchantments in the deck, this card is going to build so much. Birth of Meletis enchantment draws us a plains out so we can make sure we're hitting our cards on curve, as well as giving us a 0/4 wall and gaining us 2 life. Daxos is going to allow us to gain life every time a creature enters the battlefield or leaves the battlefield. It's also a 2-star power, which means it can be a great defender and again, enchantment. Aphemia, the Cacophony. You don't see this card enough nowadays, and I'm a little sorrowful about that. Sad? I don't know. 2 mana, 2/1 flying. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile an enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So, obviously we're playing all enchantments. Obviously we don't have the Lotus, so once we use the Deadweights and the Mire's Grasp and yada yada yada, we can, kick them to the curb and get some zombies back out of the mess. 3 copies of Mire's Grasp for the removal. 2 copies of Banishing Light for the removal. 2 copies of Heliod to help us gain additional life off of creatures that may not have life link, as well as gain counters off of every time we gain life, which of course with Daxos is a lot. Light of Promise to gain insane amount of counters off of our life gaining. Just one off though, mostly for the fun. If you don't want it, it's completely understandable. Omen of the Sun, really good flash card, and if you're going to take out Light of Promise, probably the card that I would recommend throwing more copies of in the deck. 3 mana flash, gain 2 life, create 2 1/1s, helps keep your board creature-fied and gains you the life, which helps with Heliod, blah blah blah. 2 copies of Treacherous Blessing to help us draw cards, and again we do have the Doom Foretold, so that's perfectly fine. The Doom Foretold, of course, you're going to be sacrificing things such as the Birth, maybe your Aphemia if you have one in hand and one on the board, maybe your Alseid, maybe your Hateful. Thing is with Doom, you have to be a little careful because again you don't have the Lotus in this deck, so you got to be basically aware that your creatures aren't going to be coming back the same way they would before. Anyways, we have 1 copy of Demonic Embrace to send stuff into the sky, which is really nice. And honestly, if you want to make this deck lean more one way or the other, you can always take out the Birth, the Doom, and the Treacherous and go more aggro. You see, as this is a very strong deck as is, you can throw in more All That Glitters, more Banishing Lights, more Glass Caskets, more of just your general creatures you already have. But as I wanted to truly showcase the power of everything Orzhov has to offer, I went for this sort of mid-rangey beatdown enchantment style deck. Anyways, next up we have 3 copies of Felidar, which allows you to either gain insane amounts of counters or insane amounts of creatures. Of course, if you have the Fabled Passages, it works all the better. And then 2 copies of Doom Foretold to make our opponent sacrifice stuff and, get those 2/2 knights, the life gain, and the card draw. Anyways, honestly, Only Enchantments was, like I said, it was a good one. It was a fun thing to play. I will say it was a fun, viable deck. Does that make sense? Maybe not going to smash home, maybe not going to carry you to #1 Mythic, but certainly one you can play and pick up some wins with, which is nice to say about a challenge deck like this. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, please be sure to leave a like down below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new and that bell icon that pops out afterwards. We're nearing 10,000. We got daily videos that come out around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day. If you're into the Magic community, if you're having fun here on the channel, be sure you're jumping into our Discord. Be sure you're sharing it out to a friend so that way the community can grow. We can do more stuff with the community as I can, afford to spend more time in it. Anyways, thanks everybody, and we're going to dive right into the Magic. Dizzy. Oh, if you're feeling dizzy, you should really sit down. We'll see what happens. If nothing else, we have the Omen and the Demonic, so we can sort of get some bigger players on the board. Get the Fabled out first, as it's tap land, and we want to make sure we're hitting that 3 mana untapped, right? So right now we have the Demonic Embrace, which means I should be going for black mana here with the Fabled. Alseid, not a bad sight to see. Demonic Embrace on the Alseid is it's nice, right? It's a lot of life to gain. Brushfire, okay. So we're taking 2 points here. Opponent's playing Gruul aggro. Where where were all these Gruul aggros earlier? Whenever I was like, oh boy, if I could just see No, it's fine. It's fine. I suppose it's fine. Alright, take out the Brushfire, the Mire's Grasp. Draw some cards here. Another Hateful. Gain some life back. Bada bam! You know, I will say that probably the biggest downfall about this deck is you don't really have the Lotus to replay these enchantments from the graveyard. So, probably the biggest downside. That's alright. Love struck. Oh yeah, love struck. It basically renders their love struck useless, right? Taking it down to a 2/2. Teeny tiny little 2/2. Oh, I really like this forest. It's from Ikoria, but I feel like I've never seen it. It's all mystical and overgrown, and there's shards. Yeah, I mean, it looks very Ikoria-ish. Ikorian. I think Ikorian, it sounds more appropriate that way. The swinging with the Love Struck, do we double block? You know, we double block with the Hateful, we're at least getting to draw a card off the Love Struck. I don't think so. Where's our lands? Hello? Lands? Land ho. Land ho ho ho. Alright. So I'm really worried about the 5/5 Love Struck. The 2/2, not so much. If we can hit one additional land, that's either our Omen plus the Alseid, depending on the land color, or our Doom Foretold. Either of which I am A-okay with. Bonus thinking. I feel like if they just had an Embercleave, there wouldn't be this much thinking. Same if they just had a Great Hinge, right? It would just be bam, in your face. So maybe we're getting lucky here. We missed our land drop, and we can hope that they miss their good drop. Hello, Dizzy. You gotta sit down, I'm telling you. Spinning in your chair all day, that's what'll do it to you. Don't get me wrong, when I first got my computer chair, I too spun in my chair until I got sick. It's just a force of habit, you know, and when you don't have a parent there to tell you no, why not? If you're a grown man-child such as I, why not get dizzy? Why not get 5 shades of dizzy? So I think they disconnected because there's no way that a Gruul aggro player that gets 2 Love Struck beasts out the bat and hits their mana on curve just walks away from the game board, you know? I'll take the victory. Far be it for me to say, no, 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 don't give me the free victory. But, yeah, Deadweight, really good draw here. Going to allow us to draw 2 cards off of this Love Struck being taken out, which is, you know, it's pretty much everything I was hoping for minus an actual land, but I digress. Deadweight into 2 card draw is still pretty good. If Dizzy does come back, man, they might be a little mad. They missed their whole turn. They missed their whole play's worth. Of course, they could come back and Bone Crusher or Hateful if they happen to draw into that. But, yeah, it's sad when you're in ranked people DC, because then you know you're like, it's a fair-hearted DC, you know. It's not like they just sort of walked off. They didn't give a fuck. You know that Dizzy's on the other side at their computer like, no, hurry. Hey, there's some lands. There be some lands. Land ho. Alright, well I say we're gonna use Banishing Light on the Love Struck, so let's keep drawing cards here, right? We just basically restocked our hand. That's what I'm talking about. I want to get down this Alseid, and that way we can still use the other Alseid to protect the Hateful if need be. And then we'll swing in like so. Alright. Dizzy, did they come back? I don't think so. But why? It doesn't normally let you go through 2 procs like that, right? Like, no way, Jose, does it, like, run out all of your timers and then run out your timer again. Generally, that's when it you know, concedes you. So, beats me, but hey, we're winning with only enchantments. So what if the opponent's not here? Damn you, Dizzy. I wanted a match of magic. Maybe they'll come back like right last second and they'll throw down a great hinge and it'll just be right back into an actual match of magic, you know? Because Gruul can very easily come back, so not putting it past you, Dizzy. Any second now, you're gonna come whopping back in here, aren't you? Ready to serve me some breakfast? No? Alright. I feel like they had fair amount of time to come back if they wanted to. Maybe Dizzy got a little too dizzy. Perdro instead of Petro, maybe Perdro. I don't know. We don't have a ton of land here. Actually, this is a terrible keep. What am I talking about? We don't have a ton of land here. You just don't keep that chance. Put back the dead weight. It is something we can play on turn 1, but yeah, see, we don't need it turn 1. I was gonna say, but we absolutely needed it, but we didn't. Temple. Nah, I don't want more land. Thank you, though, game. I appreciate the sentiment, making sure that I'm taken care of, that I have enough resources. That is a nice one indeed. All right. Mire's Grass to take out the ooze early and easy. The double E. The boobs you never wish you had. We're probably just going to wait for the Omen instant speed shenanery. Garuk. Alright, I'm really hoping they create a beast here because I don't want them to give trample to that Yorvo. It essentially makes our Omen a little useless. Well, not entirely useless, I suppose. There's the 3/3. There's the Yorvo buff. Here's the pass to attacks. And the Omen's up. Block. Boop. Now I think we are going immediately for the Doom. For the Doom Foretold. Either that or we're doing Demonic Embrace on something. That only puts it to 4 power. I think we're going for the Doom. We got the Omen of the Sun that we can sacrifice. We still have the 1/1 we can block with. This is going to force them to take out either the Garruk or the Yorvo. I'm assuming the Garruk. Yeah. That's not too shabby, right? Not too shabby. Questing Beast. Oh, no! We're going to be taking 7 on the chin here. That's okay. Y'all know me. Chin's where I love to take it. Omen, we got to sacrifice. Not a big deal. Another Doom. Oh, my goodness. If I had some way to fuel the fire, baby. Not fuel the fire, baby, but you know what I mean. Put Hateful down. We'll give it a aura. Now they either have to sacrifice the Questing Beast or the Yorvo here. Can't sacrifice the 3/3. No sirree. I think they sacrifice Questing because we can block Questing. Right? We can actually take Questing out now. Yeah. Towards Yorvo. Yorvo is still a big boy. Still a very, very big boy. Ramp through, you dirty dog. We will get some card draw off of that, but you're still a dirty dog. Because you're going to get rid of our Doom Foretold here. Land? Felidar. Oh. Still gonna throw down the other Doom. Gets rid of their Yorvo, and then they have the 3/3 left. Of course, it also gets rid of itself on the way back around, huh? But we're out of options. We're realistically, there's nothing left for us to do. No. All right, GG. You got me, Mono Green. I thought we had something special here. Hascaraptor? That's an interesting name. We'll keep this, mostly because we have the Omen and the Felidar. So if we can hit that mythical 4th land, which I know it's not likely, right? I mean, we only have 24 in the deck, but you have to remember we have 3 in our starting hand as well. So that's the kicker. That's where they get you on the land. They don't tell you to calculate how many lands you have in hand. I'll stop because I know my sarcasm isn't as amusing to everybody as it is to me. But it's everybody's sense of humor, right? So we have one of those magical, mystical 100-card Yorion decks that always seem to clap my cheeks real easy. Because they're just like, you know, boom, bam, can't help you. Sorry about your luck. Back to my turn. Well, we're kind of set up pretty perfectly here for the Daxos and Deadweight, right? I also like how efficient these 100-card decks draw lands. Has anyone noticed that? They've hit 3. They've hit 4, and I'm assuming they still have plenty of playables, right? 4 lands so far, 2 playables. Okay, 4 lands, 3 playables. That's a normal start of Magic, right? Like that's what I have. 4 playables, or have it? How many playables? Yeah, 4 playables, 4 lands. They've had 4 playables, 4 lands. Is there something I'm missing by way of the whole efficiency? Is there a secret rule to Magic, basically, that I don't know about? Because it seems insane, right? We're over here struggling with the 60-card deck to hit our 24 lands. And opponent's just like, nah, I got 100 cards in the deck. I only got 24 lands, but I'll hit them. All right, Felidar. Voice crack. Do we boost what we already have? I think so, actually, because we can boost it high. Like high, right? Like 15 points of damage high. Like almost lethal high is what I'm getting at essentially here. Bam! Suck those apples, you 100-card loser. No, I shouldn't be that harsh. But hey, they are a loser. Destavi? We'll keep this. We got a 1, 2, 3 kind of play. Y'all know I'm a fan of those. Of course, we're going to go for the temple first and just sort of ruin all of that. Land? Sure. Part of me wanted to say no because we have the birth, but we'll see. I'm actually going to go ahead and play the birth down here too. Let's draw all those lands out now, and so we won't have to worry about it later. Opponent's got a funky card style. Oh, no, yeah, right. That's the feast. 'Tis the feast. Alright, so opponent's got plains, maybe Mardu, maybe Orzhov, maybe Boros. Of course, you don't see Fabled and Boros too often, do you? Orzhov. They also have a birth. I'm a little happy about the fact that I don't see a Yorion over here, but it does feel very Doom Foretold-ish from our foe here. So I don't think Hateful is really any good to us right now. I think instead we would just want to go for the Mires or the Alseid, right? Although if I can play both down, why not? Right? So yeah, why not? No, sorry. I'm sorry, opponent. My shoulder itched. Shoulder. English is hard, I tell you. One thing you should never do, and trust me, I've done this, so I can tell you firsthand experience. You should never sit down and re-say words over and over and over and over again. They start losing their feel. Okay, whatever you say, opponent. We are just nothing but lands today. Nothing but lands, lands, lands. We put Mire's Grasp down on that thing, so now if they want to block, sure, go for it. But we'll get to draw a card instead of having to use Banishing Lights, cost more mana, and we don't ever get to draw. But it essentially does the same thing, right? Now they do get to take our Banishing Light. I guess that's the biggest gripe about it, but they were going to get to take our Mire's Grasp anyway, so... I guess we could have Banishing Light their Elspeth's Nightmare. But we don't have any graveyard interaction anyway, so... I don't know. We could be playing Elspeth's Nightmare ourselves, but I feel like every time I play Elspeth's Nightmares, I just go against big green monsters. Okay, so yeah, yeah, nice. We drew an Alseid. That's fair. That's fair. That's what I like to see. Oh boy, I think this game's going downhill a little bit quickly. We don't start finding something besides land. I knew we were going to get flooded this game. That's why I tried to play the Birth. I tried to get it out the ways. Yeah, baby. Yeah, sirree. Love me a good nightmare. That's exactly what this opponent's deck is. Tell you what, Destovi, Destavi, Desplease Stoppy, Hodge Mob, Hodge Mob. It's a little harder to say than I thought. We did go first. I'll keep because we got the Hateful and the Mire's Grasp. And you know what? Some card draw on top of that? Sure. Sure beans. Set of cool beans? Sure beans. Self the Savior. So it could be Winota Doggos. Those are never too fun to play against, but we'll see. 4th mana. I'm gonna keep it, but I'm weary about it, okay? I am weary, so let that be said. But it's an untapped mana on our 3rd turn, which turns a lot of stuff online, you know, so we need to do it. Ye old Hateful Eidolon. Just take out Daxos, yeah. Send him to the jailhouse. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, you silly little goose. You obviously don't get how that works. I tried to warn you. It's okay. Having that second Hateful down before we did the play we did would have been nice, but, you know, whatever. We still got a 2 for 1. 2 for the price of 1. What? We can't Banishing Light that speaker because they have the Alseid and the Selfless now. Could Banishing Light the Alseid, but it's not going to do much for us, so... Felidar, what? That's my happy what, by the way. That's not my concerned, confused what. I'm going to go for the Heliod here. Okay, so if we can gain any amount of life through the course of this, we can start stacking up the counters on the Hateful Eidolons. That's good. Bonus just mono white life gain, I guess. Ooh, bolting that in. So what do they have here? Ooh, Luminous Broodmoth. That's good for them because that means now they can start swinging in and not really give a crap if their creatures die. But they shouldn't. They still shouldn't. This does send their creatures into the sky, though, and I guess that's the biggest qualm for me. Because then I can't block it later, right? They don't have any mana to keep the Luminous Broodmoth out of trouble. Oh, there's the Felidar. Can't do it. I would love to, but we can't. So, Banishing Light onto the Broodmoth. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. We could also swing it with Hateful, because they'd have to triple block, but then they would sacrifice the Selfless to keep their Speaker alive, so it wouldn't actually work in the end anyways, right? Righto. So, we're doing it. We're doing it. Only enchantments in ranked. Actually having a better time than rogues. That's so funny. They're going to take our Heliod with the Banishing... Voice crack. They're going to take our Heliod with the Banishing Light. Fortunately for us, we have a whole nother Heliod in hand just waiting to be thrown down onto the board, slapped across the battlefield. I don't know why I enjoy the... Oh, another Felidar. Man, this is so hard. But I can't. If I could find some land, I would be a lot more tempted to dive into those Felidars. But with the current position that we're in, I think we just keep on keeping on with the Hateful Eidolon smash-a-roo. I mean, hell, we got the Heliod, so why not, right? Counter for you. And a... Shit. Okay. And a counter for you. I was like, I don't know which one I put the counter on, but I definitely want to keep these counters split, right down the middle. So we're up to 26 life. We're somewhere pretty much where they want to be, right, with their Speaker. How much does Speaker take? 7? Yeah, so 27. Ooh, another Speaker. I think we got this game in the bag, though. They are only top decking, and they are nowhere near 27 life. You know? Ooh, 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 ooh. Baby, that's what I want to see. Felidar. +1/+1 counters. All in. This is actually a pretty fun deck. You know, we have sort of a silly premise with it, but it's kind of doing its stuff. So we got 2 5/6s with lifelink and vigilance. There you go. Occasional vigilance. Alrighty, Hod G Mob. We're taking them down. What is that? We're 3-2 with our only enchantments deck in ranked.